Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. Now, I wanted to wait on the update for today until I had some more updates because I'm seeing a big potential problem. Matter of fact, the ensembles are starting to agree that this next wave is going into our Gulf. Plus what we have now, and it could happen again on the southern half of the Bay of Campeche. Not looking like too much, could get a tropical depression, but this next wave really could be an issue. So please share this video, let others know what's coming up in the tropics, as well as hit the like button. Show promotion for this video, let people know that they should watch this video. Thank you so much for your time. Now let's get into the information. If you've never been here before, I've been here for 7-8 years, 2 years on this channel. I'm all year long. Make sure you subscribe. We do give away generators. We help feed people. We give away Bibles. And we're about to start paying electricity bills. So make sure you be part of this community. It is one of the best communities you will ever find on YouTube. Remember, I will make this time compressed. You will have links in the description as well as timestamps to help you get through which part you want to see. Make sure you stay for this special message. Help support the video. God bless every single one of you. Hope you have a very blessed Tuesday. An 8 o'clock update on what's going on into the Gulf of Mexico is still at 20% chance in 5 days. Matter of fact, within 4 to 5 days, it's going to be gone. And that always been the trend on that wave. I noticed a few days ago, it showed that it was going to go west, northwest, maybe southern Texas getting in on the precipitation, maybe hitting a tropical depression, maybe strengthening to a tropical storm for a quick moment, maybe a few hours. Gulf is warm, but it does have a lot of problems going with it as well. And you can see here from National Hurricane Center that it could form a surface low by Friday. So Friday is when it could be something that really could ramp up in the Gulf of Mexico. But here's where we at with National Hurricane Center in 72 hours. We're going to have a wave right here going by the Eastern Caribbean. We're going to have another one coming by the Western MDR pushing to the west, northwest. All these waves show that they're going to be following this ridge all the way over towards the Bahamas. Plus, we're going to have this next wave that's going to be moving over the southern half of the Bay of Campeche. Now, when you look with the Euro, according to the precipitable water, you can see in 72 hours, this will reach the Bay of Campeche, the southern half of the Gulf of Mexico. It does strengthen up by Friday, and that could turn into a tropical depression, maybe a tropical storm because the Gulf is very hot right now. But you see how quickly it diminishes right before it goes to landfall. Brings precipitation over northern Mexico and southern Texas by Sunday and Saturday, then dissipates. Also, according to the Euro, you can see right here in 72 hours, it's having a big time becoming a low pressure to get a surface low and maybe a storm. It rocks all Friday, it gets down to 1,012 millibars. Now the sea surface average is 1,013 millibars, so it's not too much at all. 1,012 is its best potential, and then it weakens down, goes over northern Mexico, a little bit over southern Texas. Very weak. There is some dust moving in. This puts a lot of heat above, and this does cap some thunderstorm growth. You can even see on the update with the Euro, the 6Z, that it will be there by Friday, and it will have a lot of precipitation with it as it grows in the southern half of the Gulf of Mexico and heads towards the west, northwest. We also get a cold front that comes down, and it could be an issue with this wave, also the next wave. The cold front helps contribute to the high pressure in the Atlantic, and that's what seems to be pushing that into the Gulf of Mexico. But still not showing any surface low yet as of the Euro information. It just tries to form up. It does strengthen up, but it really don't get much. Now there is a trough that is moving through the Gulf of Mexico from the west over to the east side, and this would be putting some shear on this as it moves through. Plus with the dust, creating all that warm temperatures above, capping this storm, I still believe, even with all that going against this wave, that with the temperatures and the ocean heat content in the Gulf of Mexico, this still has a chance to strengthen. And I believe that this won't be just a tropical depression. I believe this will turn into a named storm, a tropical storm real quick. It would be Danielle. That's the next one on the list before it weakens back down before it goes to Mexico and goes west. You can also see with the GFS, it don't have as much precipitation as the Euro, but it does have the rotation going at it, and it is trying to grow while you get another wave, a little bit of energy forming off the Yucatan, and according to the GFS, that contributes to it Still don't have enough time to do anything. Headed for northern Mexico, southern Texas with precipitation, and moves away. Now, quick note, GFS does see that this has another chance to happen later on around the 27th of August as this goes around a high pressure, gets into the Bay of Campeche again. Bigger system, more broad with precipitation as it heads a little more northern. So that one is definitely something that we need to keep an eye on just in case. But the GFS is still showing that it won't get a surface low on what we're looking at right now in the Gulf of Mexico. It just don't have enough time. Just like the Euro, it's showing 1,012 millibars. That's about it. I think it'll get a little bit stronger than that. But you see how it strengthens right before landfall. That's the best scenario for that system. You look at the NASA satellite, you do see right in 72 hours that we do have this big plume of moisture moving over to Yucatan. This will bring a lot of heavy rainfall to Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize. It will go up towards the Yucatan, give y'all a lot of precipitation down to Mexico. And then it'll go into the southern half of the Bay of Campeche. And you can see all this dust that is moving right behind it, squeezing it to the west, stopping it from making any eastern turn in the Gulf of Mexico. And it just rotates right over Mexico. Not really a big deal according to NASA satellite also. You also can see that right around that time, all that precipitation is moving across the Yucatan. This dust is interacting at the 850 millibars, lower level temperatures, and it is capping it a little bit. Not a lot. It don't have that super strong orange around it, but it does have some heat above, stopping it from growing too much. And if you notice, as it gets closer towards landfall out of the Gulf of Mexico, the heat gets a little worse at the upper level for the storm, and it don't grow to anything. It just has this dust around it where all this warm temperatures above, and it won't let the thunderstorms grow too much out the tops. It does grow a little bit, but it don't grow a whole bunch. We will see if this updates. Gulf of Mexico is very unpredictable. You also can see with the Euro that at the 850 millibars, even though you have that dust up there capping with the temperatures, it don't put a lot of dry air into this moisture as it revolves around the Gulf, but it does try and form up right there by Saturday. Does try and form up something and strengthen. According to the Euro, probably got an upper level low right there, get a surface low right there, and goes into northern Mexico. Tries to form, but it can't. Just carries off to the west. Now, the Gulf of Mexico is very hot. Everybody knows this. I posted this a long time ago, how it's above average temperatures this year in the Gulf of Mexico. Yesterday afternoon, it was high 80s for the temperatures in the Gulf. And with the heat index, it's actually crazy into the 90s. There's a lot of heat going on in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, when you look at your ocean heat content, you can see how much more extreme all the heat is. This is all temperatures deep in the ocean. This is where if a system gets strong, it starts twirling around and bringing the upwelling. This is the temperatures it has to deal with to whether it will grow or weaken as it tries to strengthen. And you can see for yourself, the Gulf of Mexico is very hot, very deep in the Gulf, as well as the Western Caribbean. A lot of deep heat to work with. Now, for those that don't know what upwelling is, when you have your system trying to form your cyclone, and if it's cooler waters down below, it's going to be pulling up these cooler temperatures, and it won't help it strengthen. Matter of fact, it could hurt that storm. But when you have it warm below as well, not only is it strengthening over here because you're warm on the surface temperatures, but your deep ocean heat content is warm as well. So it's pulling up with the upwelling as it rotates around, it's pulling up warm temperatures to help feed this storm. That's what's in the Gulf. That's why I said this storm could quickly transfer overnight into a tropical storm by the time you wake up. But the trend on this is that it will go to the west, northwest, towards northern Mexico, maybe the southern half of Texas with a precipitation for sure. But it's not trending that it's going to form into anything strong. It's going to have a moment from Friday to Saturday, then it's going to weaken. I'll get myself out of the way. As you can see, in the next 72 hours with the Euro, the chances for a tropical depression is pretty good. It's going up to 55, even 60%. When you go to 4 days and 5 days, it starts going towards the west, northwest. All the strength is in the southern half of the Bay of Campeche. It weakens as it goes towards the west, northwest, towards Mexico. So it does have up to a 60% chance, maybe even a 65% chance of just seeing a tropical depression. Now, when you check your chances for cyclone locations, according to the GFS, you can see that it really not showing any chance of any formation coming out of that at all. But it is picking up that these waves has a chance to get into our Caribbean as well as coming towards our Gulf as we go later into the month. A lot of chances to get into our Gulf, come across Florida into our Gulf. That's what the latest Ensemble's control member is showing. Or just curve up by the Bahamas and go to the southeast. All of them showing strengthening. All of them showing a major hurricane by their colors. We really need to watch this next wave. I know this is the next area to watch according to National Hurricane Center, but I never brought that up to your attention because it always showed it was just going to be a precipitation storm, just like the last one that we had. That next wave has always showed potential. Move myself out of the way one more time. You can tell with the Euro Spaghettios possible cyclone locations that in 4 days it does have something to form up on the southern half of the Bay of Campeche, head north, and tries to strengthen as it goes towards 5 days. But after that, it dies off. Look how quickly it dies off. So right there, it does have its moment, according to the Euro, where it could get down to 1,000, 1,005 millibars, could be a tropical depression, maybe a low-end tropical storm. But all the trend has been not only a west-northwest, but that it will weaken as well. Matter of fact, as we look at the ensembles on what we're dealing with the Gulf, if you've never been here before, all these little lines that people show you of possible locations, just like I showed you with the GFS as well. This is a picture graph of it so you can see what these storms could look like, so you can see what the trend is. And you can see that right before 4 days, a little after 3 days, that most of them are showing that there is a upper level low on the southern half of the Bay of Campeche. Not really anything at all. And as you go towards 4 days and move on, everything just weakens down. You have one right here that shows it has a chance to strengthen at the last second to another upper level low. 5 days weakened down. And this one right here is your control member. Out of all these, this is your more than likely outcome. So as you look at this one, you can see in 3.5 to 4 days, it's expected to get an upper level low, maybe strengthen into something according to what the Euro is showing, but the ensembles is showing that that will not work out, that nothing will come out of that system. It's just going to move west, northwest, maybe a group of disorganized thunderstorms. So as we look at a potential velocity anomaly, it lets us know when we have lift or sinking air in our region. A good description of sinking air would be a cold front or possibly some dust moving through that would cause sinking air. It would create a stable environment, and you need instability, you need lift for these storms to really grow. And the sinking air is a red, the lift is all this blue, and this is what you normally see when you look for tropical cyclones. This is going towards Australia, Asia, all in that region. They're going to be having issues soon. But you can see here, ours is very weak. And according to GFS, we're going to still have lift coming off this MDR all the way to the beginning of September. But it's been trending for a long time. It's been shown by the Euro also for a long time that we're going to have sinking air in our region. We're going to have some lift in between the 19th all the way to the 25th of August. Not showing a lot of promise so far as we look at it this morning, and some more sinking air moving in for the end of August, beginning of September. Now, if you've never been here before, my community always knew that there never was going to be any hurricanes for the whole month of August. That's what we've been trending and been seeing. If anything was going to form, it was going to be the 25th of August and on. And they always knew that here. So if you'd like to stay ahead of the tropics, make sure you subscribe. But from the 20th all the way to the 25th, GFS is seeing some lift in our area. And our area is West Coast is 120W, East Coast and the Eastern Caribbean is 60W. So anything in this region would be an effect on us. And that's right where this is. So it is going to have dust problems now. It's going to have dust problems later. But GFS is still showing that this storm is going to sneak in. And the latest answer on the ensembles shows a potential strong hurricane going to our Gulf. When we look at the same thing according to the Euro, it is agreeing a lot of strong lift coming off the MDR, but it's showing a lot of sinking air coming after that, then some more lift, more sinking air, then a lot more lift coming towards the middle and end of September. Euro always showed that nothing was going to happen for our hurricane season until the beginning of September, maybe the middle of September. And it is showing that we do have a lot of stretching of lift coming towards the Eastern Caribbean all the way to the 25th and 26th. That's when this next wave is going to be forming up. It's showing dust is coming after that. Then maybe something small around the beginning of September. Then maybe something strong right in the middle of September, and some sinking air over the rest of us. And we might have some issues going towards the end of September. Until then, Euro is showing there's really not a lot to worry about. Euro always showed we had nothing to worry about during the whole month of August, while other people were ramping up, talking about it's about to pop off. It never popped off. And Euro showed it wasn't going to pop off. Matter of fact, when you check with the Euro and see the chances from August 15th all the way to the end of September, Euro is seeing this wave going through the Gulf of Mexico, strengthening up right before landfall, not really a big threat. More formations in the Eastern Pacific. But if you look way over towards the MDR, the main development region, Euro has always shown that these storms was going to fling right towards the northern Atlantic. That means that this was not going to be a strong high pressure in the Atlantic, and these storms are just going to curve up to the north. GFS is showing that this high pressure is actually going to be expanding out. That would push this wave further to the west. You also can see with the Euro whether we have lift or sinking air for the next 5 days, that it is showing a lot of lift coming off the MDR into halfway of the main development region, while we have a lot of sinking air over the rest of us. As we go from August 15th all the way to August 20th, this lift is going to be expanding out further down in MDR as well as the northeast, while you still got some sinking air in the Gulf, not really strong. Go again from August 25th all the way to August 30th, everything strengthens. The lift strengthens and the sinking air strengthens. So things are going to come off strong off the MDR according to what the Euro is saying, and it's going to run into issues as it comes closer towards us. But once we get past August 30th, Euro shows that the sinking air will come in one more time real strong. The lift weakens up, and then once you go past September 4th, then the sinking air starts leaving, and the lift starts coming in towards the middle of September, definitely towards the end of September. So the sinking air will be leaving, but until then, it's still showing pretty strong. Matter of fact, when you check the MJO according to the Euro, you can see that right around August 20th, you got sinking air going all the way into the Caribbean. It kind of lightens up for the Caribbean. But once you go to the 25th, then you get lift coming through our Central American gyre. You also get a lot of neutral phase, which means it don't help, but it don't hurt neither. And then once you go towards August 30th, then we get our lift really strong. September 4th, it starts moving more eastern into our Caribbean. And by September 8th, that we actually going to have a lot of lift, and things are really going to be booming for our hurricane season. Now, the possible cyclone locations, according to the GFS, is showing right around the 23rd, 24th. We're going to have waves start moving more northern off the coast of Africa, as well as in our Caribbean. And it's showing possible locations can start building up. Not only right here by the Bahamas, going into our Gulf by the time we get to August 28th, maybe another one coming into our Caribbean, and maybe one taking a northern turn. So whether this high pressure weakens and retracts back, it'll take this northern turn. This high pressure expands and strengthens, it'll start taking these paths right into the Gulf of Mexico. All of them showing a lot of strength. We definitely going to start building up as we go towards the 25th of August into September. Also, chances for a tropical depression according to the Euro. You can see the one that's in the Gulf. But you can see what's going on with our Caribbean. That these next few waves are going to start headed right towards the Bahamas. They start weakening down a little bit as they move. But this wave and the next wave are starting to just follow that same pattern right towards northern Puerto Rico and the Bahamas. GFS is showing that this could expand out and push this wave into the Gulf. You can also see with the Euro possible cyclone locations as we go further away that right around the 24th, we do have a chance for something to form up into the Caribbean. And there's a chance right around the 26th and 27th for stuff to start popping up into our Western Caribbean, and things coming off the MDR are going northern. So a lot of these are showing a northern track. They are showing a lot of strengthening, but the ones that are going further west are weaker than the ones that are getting pulled to the north, if that helps with anything. You'll see that the update shows that wave does go further along, and so far it takes a northern track. Now, if it takes a northern track like that, gets smacked with the cold front, kind of stops it from going towards the east coast so far. It's so far away. Can't be sure about this yet, guys, as we get that next wave off the coast. So far, it shows that the high pressure will weaken to where it will take a little bit of a northern track and get hit with that cold front. I'm seeing something different in the ensembles. And you can also see, looking for the pressure, the strength of this system, that according to this 6Z, the latest run, that does get pretty strong. It gets all the way down to a 979, 975, a 969 by the time it moves closer, and then it gets hit with that cold front, and that's what weakens it down and keeps it kind of stationary. But you see how broad it gets. It starts getting really broad after that. That could be bad. It could be tearing up the storm. It could be good for the storm where it gets a lot more precipitation. And after that cold front, it could be back on the move again. But it's agreeing with the Euro that these other waves coming off the coast of Africa will be headed on that northern track, which also tells you right here that your high pressure will be weak. It will not be dominant. It'll be moving east, northeast, pulling these storms very high ridge into the north. But as we take a look and see what the 0Z is, and for those that have never been here before, the 0Z run and the 12Z run is a 2 times a day weather meteorologists put weather balloons in the atmosphere and get the best data that goes into these deterministic models. So you see this big storm right here on the 6Z, but when you go to look at the 0Z, it shows it's going to be high pressure moving. So whether the high pressure expands or whether it retracts is still in the question, although it is trending that high pressure will be in the northeast of the Atlantic, and that will be pulling the rest of these waves to the north. And when you look according to the NASA satellite, looking at the dust, as you look at your wave coming off the coast of Africa, you can see not only does it still have a lot of dust moving behind it, but it is in between the dust wave, so it does have a chance to grow as long as it stays the same speed. But as it stays the same speed and moves along, it allows it to try and form, but it don't really get much formation because that dust is catching up with it. You see it right there, it tries to form, but you got this big high pressure of dust moving behind it, a lot of warm temperatures above, a lot of dry air, and it's capping the storm, stopping it from strengthening. So just like Euro showed, that we're going to have sinking air in this region. At the same time, you can see it don't take that northern push like GFS showed on that latest model. It shows it's going to take that western push because all this high pressure is going to be expanding out. And that's going to push this either to the west or curve it up in this direction. As soon as it gets away from that dust, it will start strengthening. And this is where my concern really builds up, because these ensembles usually play down a lot of these storms, and it usually is true. I'd say about a good 80-85% of the time. It even showed the storms for the states when I showed y'all severe weather, and what it showed really did do it. So these ensembles really are great, and you got to go by what's trending as well, but there's a lot of concern on what I see this morning. So I'm taking myself out the shot so you can look good at all of the ensembles. And by the time we get to August 23rd, you can see that they are seeing something move across the MDR. It is a little bit northern, but according to GFS, that these do make a westward push because this high pressure is going to be there. It's going to be all expanded out, and these can move to the west. High pressure keeping it west. Even right here, you have a high pressure keeping it west. There's one that shows it will go northern. And as you keep on watching, you can see as it heads to the west, keeps going that way. The one that goes northern heads northern, but the rest of these head west. We even get some late buildup right around the 27th and 28th. Something could be forming into the Caribbean as well. Now, as you look at these down here, you can see multiples that show that it could go over the Bahamas, could strengthen up and go to the southeast, or it could go also towards Florida and get into our Gulf. And as you look over here on E10, you can actually see that we could possibly get both of them at the same time. Just really start ramping up by the time you get to the end of August. But if you've never been here before, this right here says C on it for control member. That means whatever you see in all of these, this is the most likely outcome. This is what will happen according to the data that it has right now. So as you keep on going, you can see that the wave does go a little northern. It stays pretty weak and upper level low. Starts getting a surface low as it gets away from that dust from the 27th to the 28th. As it goes towards the 29th, it moves towards the Bahamas. Towards the 30th, it goes towards Florida. And towards the end of the month, it moves into the Gulf of Mexico, showing a northern push. So that was real concerning to me because not only the control member showing it, which is worst of all, but you can see it in a lot of these right above my head that there is a lot of ensembles saying this energy could get into our Gulf. I'll put this link in the description for you as well so you can see what's going on with our hurricane season in case you didn't catch my update on it a while back. And the probability of which state has the worst chance of getting a tropical storm, a hurricane, a major hurricane. It showed Florida. It shows Florida 95% chance of getting a tropical storm, 72% chance of getting a hurricane, and 41% chance of getting a major hurricane. Thank you so much for visiting my channel today. If you like the information I provided, please think about leaving a like or even sharing this to your friends and family. Help alert others. You never know who's on your friends list that will be in these impacts, and this information could be life-saving to them. So please do your part. Help others. God bless you. Psalm 146. Praise ye the Lord. Praise the Lord, O my soul. While I live, will I praise the Lord. I will sing praises unto my God while I have any being. Put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. His breath goeth forth, he returneth to his earth, and that very day his thoughts perish. Happy is he that hath the God of Jacob for his help, whose hope is in the Lord his God, which made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that there is in, which keepeth truth forever, which executeth judgment for the oppressed, which giveth food to the hungry. The Lord looseth the prisoners. The Lord openeth the eyes of the blind. The Lord raiseth them that are bowed down. The Lord loveth the righteous. The Lord preserveth the strangers. He relieveth the fatherless and widow. But the way of the wicked he turneth upside down. The Lord shall reign forever, even thy God, O Zion, unto all generations. Praise ye the Lord. Amen. Thank you all so much for visiting today. Thank you all for sharing the information that's shared. You help so many people you just do not know. All power, all glory does go to Yahweh, God of Jacob, our Father. And he will keep you safe. Amen. Hallelujah. Have a great day, everybody.